This is a tutorial on how to make a endgame wand for cold dot. You should expect to pay about 40-50 divines to make this type of wand. Create new item, and I'm going to use a wand. It's much difficult to do it on a scepter, and I don't really recommend it. So you need to have a wand. And the most important thing right here is having an opal wand, obviously if you want the best outcome. If, however, you get a much better base, you go to the emulator and you can afford to buy um, a much the price for, let's say, a demon's horn wand is like 5 divines and the opal wand is like 15 divines. Maybe you can go for the demon's horn because the difference is not that great. But if you want the best of the best, you need to have an opal wand, and it needs to have +1 to level of all spell skill gems, and needs to be fractured. From this point on, you make it rare. You go to use perfect fossils, um, make it 30 quality. The moment it hit 30 quality, you are going to use essences, and it's going to be deafening essence of woe. Um, this deafening essence of woe will guarantee you to have between 83 and 94% increased spell damage. And if you look here, you choose called spell skill gems and you choose the chaos orb method. It says that 1 in 158 tries is going to hit +1. So you just spam deafening essence of woe until you hit +1 to level of all called spell skill gems. We remove this modifier, we add this, and at this point, if you have 3 prefixes, 3 suffixes, there's nothing you can do except use Orb of Annulment. But if you have only 2 suffixes or 1 suffix and the prefixes are locked because they are the best prefixes you can get, you can go to your crafting bench and you can put prefixes cannot be changed. If you have a very good suffix, like let's just say you have uh, tier 1 damage over time multiplier, or what, uh, tier 3, tier 3, tier 4, tier 2, tier 1 cold damage over time multiplier, then you don't need to use prefixes cannot be changed if you have a very good um, suffix. But the chances of you getting this suffix is pretty small, so I don't expect you to have these modifiers. But if you have tier 1 cold damage over time multiplier, even if you have 3 suffixes, there's no need to scour and use the orb of annulment and use these crafts. But assuming that your item has shit suffixes like this one has, what you do from here, you just use orb of scouring. And now again you will craft, prefixes cannot be changed. And what you do from here, it depends on what you, if you want to risk it or not. You can use veiled chaos orbs, and most likely you will not get um, like this. You will not get 3 suffixes. But if it gets 3 suffixes, you are back to square one. Um, I would suggest that you go with Aisling. This is going to be an extra 2.5 to 3 divines because it will not break your item. If you use the Veiled Chaos Orb, it also will add a modifier, which can be good, but it can also break your item. It can give you 2 shitty modifiers and a Veiled suffix. Now let's go ahead and add Aisling. So it's going to remove that, and now after you have this veiled suffix, The only after you have the veiled suffix, you are going to go here and look for the veiled modifiers and try to block the most common modifier that will appear. So the most common one is going to be trigger a socketed spell. So if you block this, if you craft trigger a socketed spell using a skill, it increases your chances of getting uh, this cold damage over time multiplier, which is going to be up to 28%. So let's just go to the crafting bench, put trigger, um, and now when you unveil it, we right click and unveil this, there's a higher chance for you to hit the cold damage over time multiplier. Now we got lucky and got it first try, but if we don't get it first try, what you do, you go ahead and again, prefixes cannot be changed. Again, you use Aisling, or you can use the Veiled Chaos Orb, but Veiled Chaos Orb has a higher chance of you breaking the item. In which case, if you don't want to invest too much in this in this craft, but since I'm assuming you are going to pay 30 divines for this craft, you are going all in. You can the cheaper version would be to just craft the cold damage over time multiplier. Anyway, once you get the veiled modifier, let's remove this. You get the veiled modifier cold damage over time. You have this. What you can do from here, you can craft whatever you like. If you feel like you need stats, you can put stats. You can put cast speed. Um, uh, Maybe you need some resistances. It depends on what your build needs. You can craft cold damage. I would say the best thing you can do is use cast speed because it helps you with your cold snap. Even though cold damage is more damage overall. Um, that's pretty much, and then you just use exalt slum after you have crafted whatever you like. You use an exalt slum, and that's your wand. This is how you craft an endgame wand for cold dot.